Now, if you're an architect, there is a host of awards, medals and prizes out there that your building might bag, but only one stands head and shoulders above all others. The Stirling Prize comes with a handsome and handy £20,000 cheque, but its kudos really lies in having your building endorsed and recognised by your professional peers and contemporaries. Oh, and of course, we get to see great architecture built around us. So to explain and explore what has made this award so special for the last 15 years, here's Tom Dykoff.
The RIBA Stirling Prize is the most prestigious architectural award in Britain. It's given every year to the building that's made the greatest contribution to British architecture. Past nominees have included world-famous structures, such as London's Gherkin and Cornwall's Eden Project. The Royal Institute for British Architects set up the prize in 1996 and named it after one of the profession's greatest post-war master builders, Sir James Stirling. A perfect choice, because one of Stirling's hallmarks was combining tradition with innovation and originality, values which have driven the prize ever since over the past 15 years. The Stirling Prize has been nothing less than a catalyst for the regeneration of British architecture. To understand the impact of the Stirling Prize, you have to go back to why it was founded in the first place. In the early 1990s, British architecture was in the doldrums. As a country, we hadn't exactly embraced contemporary design, and we were still pretty conservative in our taste. Added to this fear of the new, we were deep in recession. There simply wasn't any money for public buildings, nor were there many private clients bold enough to invest in contemporary design. The Stirling Prize aimed to shake us all up, shake us out of our slumber, and get the blood flowing again in British architecture. By the end of the century, partly due to the prize, things were starting to change in the world of architecture. Lottery funding was having an impact, and the economy was picking up, giving architects the first real chance to experiment in years. But for me, the really big signal that the architectural landscape was shifting was when the Stirling judges awarded the prize to this. Lord's Media Centre, designed by Future Systems, won the Stirling Prize in 1999. Its critics have compared it to an alarm clock, a spaceship, and even Cherie Blair's smile. But it's not only an elegant bit of futuristic architecture sitting on the London skyline, it's a building with something to say. This was a very modern building for a very traditional British institution, and it demonstrated the power that architecture has to communicate. Here was Lord's centuries-old home of British cricket commissioning a strikingly 21st century building. And by winning the Stirling Prize, it sent a powerful message to the world. British architecture was in the doldrums no longer. It could be controversial, striking, even fun.
I think it's that kind of elusive capacity to communicate. It's what we strive for as architects, that people will be able to grab hold of the idea within a few seconds without the need for you to explain it in words. And I think the Media Centre does that very well.
When the message that's being communicated is look at this city, see how it's changed, be proud of it, architecture can regenerate entire areas. The 2002 Stirling Prize winner, the Gateshead Millennium Bridge, did just that.
This whole development in the bridge especially, it's brought like a whole new different look to the area.
Like, people have never heard of Gateshead until you hear about the Millennium Bridge, and it's connected Gateshead to Newcastle.
And you can sit and watch it, it's just a wonderful experience. A bit of engineering genius.
The idea of the bridge opening, rather like an eyelid or a motorcycle helmet, came out of a very particular set of constraints we were given, that we couldn't build on either side, but we had to get high in the middle of the river to clear, for boats to go under without the bridge opening. We suddenly realised, hang on a minute, if we lifted up that curved path, we can get the 25-metre clearance underneath. So it was a very simple sort of quantum leap, if you like, a moment where you suddenly realise there's a way of doing it. And when you think, I bet nobody else thinks of this.
As public attitudes became more open to the idea of architecture with a distinctly 21st century look, the winners of the Stirling Prize got more and more exciting. This is the Larvan Dance Centre in Deptford, South London, winner of the Stirling Prize in 2003. It's elegant and inviting, but more importantly, it shows the Stirling Prize and British architecture becoming increasingly eclectic and confident. Its architect Herzog and de Meuron had already built Tate Modern, and with Larvan, they were the first foreign architects to win the Stirling Prize. They brought with them a very European sensibility, as much about ideas as engineering prowess. Like any prize, the Stirling has its critics. Every year, debates take place in the papers about what should and shouldn't be on the shortlist.
I think the primary kind of concern I've got with the Stirling is that it's become a celebration of these spectacular cherries on an increasingly mouldy cake. It's about the one-off, magnificent building. And the background stuff of our cities doesn't feature. I think in the 15 years that the prize has been running, there's been a housing scheme nominated twice, which is a problematic situation, because I think actually it's the quality of our housing schemes and our offices that contribute to the quality of our cities much more forcefully than the quality of our opera houses and theatres.
The Stirling Prize may not have been able to transform every aspect of Britain's built environment, but it has made a difference. 15 years on, attitudes have shifted. One of the greatest accomplishments of the Stirling Prize is that we no longer see modern architecture as a threat, but an opportunity. It's almost as if Britain has learned to build and love architecture all over again, whether a dance centre, an airport, a bridge or an office block. The big question now is, which of the 6 shortlisted buildings will the judges honour tonight?